Hello. Thanks for taking the time to read my December 2023 newsletter. It really does mean a lot to me. If you, Hello. Thanks for taking the time to read my December 2023 newsletter. It really does mean a lot to me. Somewhere associated with this video will be the actual newsletter. You can just click on a link to read it online if you're not receiving it by email. And if you'd like to receive it by email, just contact me, shoot me an email, let me know that you'd like to be added to the list. So let's get right to it. Let's go over to the computer and let's see what's in the newsletter for this month. Okay, so here we are with the newsletter, and let's just get started here. Under the personal message from me, which obviously is a link to this video, down here where it says click to download this month's free resource. This month the free resource is going to be about 1031 exchanges, and when you click on that link it will just take you right to this PDF. You click here to download it, and you see up here it downloads it immediately. There's nothing else that you have to put in. Again, it's just a free resource. 1031 exchanges are something if you have a rental property, whether that's a commercial property or a residential property, and you sell it and don't want to, you want to defer the taxes, as long as you put that money into another like kind property, you can basically upgrade from one rental property to another, or do it from one state to another, whatever you need to do. If you need information on a 1031 exchange and how they work, because there's a lot of rules that go along with them, that free resource will help. And then you can also, after that, feel free to get a hold of me if you have any more questions about it. The next article we're going to have in here is going to be all about ADUs, also called granny flats, and you can use them. Most people use these for rental income. So this is going to be converting a garage, an attic, a basement, even putting a tiny house out back. We're converting a shed, or even putting in a camper in the backyard that you can rent out to other people, like on RVBO or Airbnb. And in Colorado Springs, this is great because right now Colorado Springs is not allowing you to have a license to use single-family homes that are vacant for short-term rentals. But if that is part of your primary residence, like again a garage, a basement, an extra room, then you can do that and you can rent it out, and you can make some fantastic extra income doing that. A lot of people are making their mortgage payments plus by just renting out some extra space. So there's a good article on that. And again, if that's something you're interested in doing or want some more information about it, please feel free to reach out to me. Now this one is about an AirMed membership. Now this is something I just learned literally a couple of months ago, and found it to be just fascinating, and I think it's going to save people a ton of money. I think it's really important. That's why it's in my newsletter this month. So an AirMed membership is just what it looks like there. If you have to be flown to the hospital or from one hospital to another because of an emergency, this is not insurance. This is a membership. So for instance, you get in a car accident and they need to fly you to the hospital, and especially if you're out in a rural area and you get in a car accident, maybe you're traveling around the country, whatever it is, or you're out camping, hiking, fishing, whatever, out hunting especially, and you get injured to the point where they need to fly you to the hospital instead of waiting for an ambulance to get there. That's what this covers. This covers the entire cost of that. So even if your insurance company covers it and has a deductible, you won't get a bill from these guys. It'll just be paid 100%. Here's why I think that this is really important. One, the price is extremely reasonable. Literally, the most expensive is $99 a year, and that covers everybody in your household, including students that are away at college. It also covers if you have like elderly parents that you all live in the same household that you're taking care of. Everybody in that household is covered for that $99 a year, and that price goes down significantly if you buy like a 10-year or 20-year membership. One of the nice things about those multi-year memberships is you never have to worry about it lapsing. You never have to worry about the price going up. You've paid for it now and it's done. And you're covered for the next 10 or 20 years, whatever you decide to buy. So here's where it can really save you a lot of money. Excuse me. If you get in a car accident, let's say, and they fly you to the hospital, and you get to the hospital, and the hospital doctor, ER doctor, or whatever, decides that they determine that flight was not absolutely necessary, that your injuries weren't quite as bad as they thought they were on scene, and it really wasn't as life-threatening, then the insurance company is going to deny that claim because they're going to say it was an unnecessary expense. So now you're stuck with that bill. And I had a friend who had the same issue here. He lived in a small town here in Colorado, and he didn't get in an accident, but he had a heart attack, went to the hospital. They thought it was life-threatening enough that their small hospital wouldn't be able to handle it and flew them to Colorado Springs. And the doctors here, after his surgery, determined that it wasn't as life-threatening as they thought, and he probably could have taken the couple hours to drive to Colorado Springs, be transported that way, so they didn't cover that flight. Now he's stuck with that bill, which was several $1,000s. I was talking to a couple of the reps for this AirMed Care, and they were saying it's over $3,300 just to take off, to get that helicopter off the ground, with their expenses for the flight, including the wages and things for the nurses and stuff that are on board. So it gets really expensive. If your insurance company isn't going to cover it, then, or even if they do and you have to pay your deductible, it's still going to be thousands of dollars. The other nice thing about this, not only does it cover everybody in your family, but it's not a one-time use. If this happens to you, where you had to use it multiple times, it's going to cover it every time, and it's covered 100%. They're also a nationwide company. I think they have over like 320 flight locations around the country, including Alaska and Hawaii. So anyhow, great company. If you want more information on that, click the link on here where it says click here for more information and sign up. Talk to one of the reps. I can sign you up right over the phone. So this is a fantastic membership. And like I said, for the price, for what you get for it, is just unbelievable. All right. Let's get on to the next one. Is going to be about how to navigate your high mortgage interest rates. And right now, they are higher than they have been. However, they're not as high as they've been in years. But in the last 23 years, they are at the highest level. Believe me, I have many clients that bought homes back in the 80s and paid as much as 18.5%. So, a normal rate for us would be somewhere around that 5%. So we are a little high right now. But this article is going to give you some ideas on saving up for that down payment, right? Like some high yield savings accounts, CDs, corporate bonds, things like that. My personal suggestion would be to get in touch with a financial advisor if you don't have one. And if you don't have one and you're not really sure where to go for one of those, I can certainly send you in the right direction and hook you up with somebody that I trust that is local right here in Colorado Springs and has been in business for many years and has fantastic success. So if that's something you're interested in, please feel free to reach out to me and help you there. The next is going to be, because it's wintertime, we spend, they're saying maybe more than 95% of our time indoors during this season, whether that's at home or in the office, at work, period. Because we're spending all this time indoors, you really need to be concerned about your indoor air quality. And, this industry has came a long way over the years. Technology has helped them tremendously. So there's things like these small sensors, like the one that's pictured on here. That is one of the most popular ones right there. And they will look for all kinds of things, including different kinds of gas in your house, I made a list down here. Yeah, toxic gases, pollutants, you name it, carbon monoxide even. So, and these things will also track these, and you can download the data from it and see kind of a trend if there's different times that you have different levels of pollutants in your house. So if that's something you're concerned about, maybe you're having some symptoms like mild headaches, runny noses, things like that that are constant, it may be the air quality in your house. So it may not hurt to pick up one of these little sensors and put it in your house. If you click on the photo of it, or you click down here under air quality sensors, there is a link to that particular one that you can purchase online. So, but again, if you have want any additional information about this, I would suggest click on the link to these and go to their website. Is winter a good time to sell your house? Of course it is. And you know, a lot of people think that selling their house in the winter, they always want to wait until spring to sell it, and because they don't think there's as many buyers out there. And that is true to a certain extent. However, you got to keep in mind that buyers that buy in the wintertime are usually buying because they need to buy, not because they want to. They've either been relocated here for their military service, they've been relocated here for their job. A lot of them think that there's they're going to get a better price in the wintertime. So there are a lot of buyers in the winter. And if you're going to sell your house in the winter, this article is going to give you a few things to kind of keep in mind. So down here, decorate for the winter. You know, make sure you put logs by the fire if you have a fireplace. While we're on that fireplace, when your photographer comes out to take photos of your home for the MLS, if you have an empty fireplace, put some logs, next to it so it looks like, it's that warm and fuzzy feeling. But have your photographer ask them if they can put in fire in the fireplace in Photoshop. And if you need a photographer to do that, Nancy, my wife, that's what she does. She is a real estate photographer, and she does put fire in the fireplaces. But if you're not using her, by all means, ask your realtor that if their photographer can put fire in the fireplace. It really adds a nice touch to those photos. The other thing is fill your house with some nice aromas. It should feel like winter in there, right? I mean, it should feel warm and cozy, and people's senses, people are very sensitive to smell. So things like cinnamon and clove, even, using some lavender-based cleansers and things will make your home smell warm and inviting. Now, the next thing is a place for muddy shoes. Now, of course, it's wintertime. I suggest you get one of those boot trays that you can get at Walmart or Costco. They're very inexpensive. We're talking 10 or 15 bucks. Put a boot tray inside your door and have a little box with booties and stuff in it. Your realtor will help you out with that. And that way people won't be tracking stuff through your house and under your carpets and things like that. And it's very inexpensive, and it's something you definitely need to do to protect your flooring. Now, the other thing is, because it's wintertime, you really need to scoop your walk in your driveways, your steps, for a couple of reasons. The area I see this in the most is people selling a vacant home. Either they've already moved on to a new home and they're selling their existing one that is now vacant, or maybe it was a rental property and it's now vacant. But don't ignore that vacant home while it's for sale. This happens all the time. They'll put that vacant home up for sale, it'll snow, and now you have people trying to track through the snow and up icy steps. The last thing you want is someone to have a slip and fall at your property that's for sale. So make sure you get over there after it snows and get those sidewalks and driveways, everything cleaned off. The other reason is that it looks like somebody lives in the home, and you don't want anybody breaking in or anything thinking that is a vacant house. And that's a pretty clear sign of a vacant house if it's got snow sitting out front and there's nobody has scooped it. So take care of that. And by all means, do not rely on your realtor to go over and scoop your walk and scoop your driveway, and that is not their job. Their job is to get your house sold and get it on the market and find you a buyer. Their job is not to go over and do maintenance on your house. So please keep that in mind. So this is the end of the newsletter for this month. Again, there should be a link. If you got this via email, then obviously you have the newsletter. But if you're watching this on, say, Facebook or a YouTube video, there should be a link below that you can open this newsletter online, and that way you'll be able to click on some of these links that we have in here so that you can get more information. And if you're not getting the newsletter by email and you'd like to, remember, all you got to do is shoot me an email, a text, or just reach out to me and let me know you'd be like to be added to the list. I'll be happy to send this to you once a month. Thanks again for taking the time to read my newsletter. That's it for this month. I want you to have a wonderful holiday season here. Have a very Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year, and I will see you next month.